Welcome to the Menopause Lifestyle Solution podcast hosted by Livia Francis. Each month, I invite a discussion on a chosen topic within the menopause, the highs, the lows, the experiences, I guess, of midlife, and as women in our modern day society. And today I have the pleasure of introducing Hayley Pexton. She's an entrepreneur. I would describe you very much as an entrepreneur, really positive. We met through Facebook, I believe, but Hayley has a fantastic story, and above all, it's her energy. Your energy is insane. Tell me a little bit about you, about your business and what you do.
Oh, thank you, Liv. What a lovely introduction that is to follow. Well, like I said, we connected probably about a couple of months back now, didn't we? It was via Facebook.
Yeah.
And like you said, my name's Hayley. I've got lots of different little things in the background, which is amazing. I think we connected actually, and it was all really about bringing women together. So ultimately, in a bit of a background, I suppose, is I left a corporate industry. It was actually in cosmetics, and it was over a year ago now, and I worked for a brand called Benefit Cosmetics. You may have heard of it, and I loved it. And it's all about bringing women together, making women feel great, look amazing, and I love that whole community feel. But I kind of had done the corporate thing on the road, that lifestyle that as amazing as it is, it doesn't sometimes is not long term, So a year ago, I decided to leave, and I went on a few personal growth journeys, which we all do in life. A few of them came at once, which, now I look back and is an absolute blessing, because you grow through what you go through. And if you have those things, then it doesn't stretch you. And a year on, I'm pleased to say I have a retreat business she was my yoga teacher, who's a friend now, and also just embarking on an online coaching program, really, a bit more like a mentorship, really, for women to help them kind of achieve their dreams, their goals, and I think break that mold that I know I was stuck in, which was corporate life, working all the hours, selling my soul really for another brand, and I knew I was capable of more. So yes, I'm excited to be launching that very soon. So lots of different things.
Okay, so let's touch on breaking the mold. I quite like that expression. Mm. So you said you were in the corporate for a long time in that industry. And what was the stress like? What did you have to manage? Explain that.
Yeah, do you know what? It was like scales, okay? So it was really hard, because it was very hard to get that beautiful kind of balance. It was either one or it was the other. And I think sometimes when it's like that, you kind of go from one extreme to the other. When you take the weights off, you're like, oh my God, 1 minute it's brilliant, and all the rest of it, the next minute, you're doing 15-hour days, you've eaten rubbish because you've only had time to pick up a sandwich, maybe not even eaten it all, the phone's going constantly, emails, pressure. Living away from home was a massive thing after 10 years, on the road, looking at a suitcase. It becomes really tough. And as much as it has those highs, to get that balance is really difficult, because those kind of jobs tend to come with sacrifice. And I got to that point, Liv, where I was just like, actually, my focuses have changed, my priorities have changed. And actually all of those things that you kind of push to side and you go, oh, it's all right, I haven't had time to go to the gym, I haven't had time to eat, actually was the most important thing for me. And that's what made me go, okay, I need to get off these scales.
So tell me, from that decision, how long did it really take for you to leave? Because you make a decision, don't you? And then it takes time in order for things to happen. So what was that process like?
This is so interesting. So I remember vividly going to a spa day with my friend, and we were in the outside hot tub bit, and we were sat there, and I just said to her, I just know I'm capable of more. Don't know what it is. I just said, but I just know there's more. And I'd had these thoughts for a good couple of months before. And this was probably about, I'd say 2 years before I actually did the thing that I needed to do. And I'll always remember that conversation, because it was like, God, I've got no idea what I do. I've been in retail for since I left school, and I've worked my way up, and I just thought, I don't really know what is going to come to fruition, but I know I'm capable of more. So that sat with me for a long time. And then things happened, life happens. And actually, again, I believe it was a blessing, because something happened in my life that actually made me stop. Like, it made the decision for me, because I think it was almost like I had such a fantastic job. And as much as I knew I was capable of more, wanted more, I didn't know how to stop it. And it was this thing that came along that actually made me go, whoa, now I know I need to do this thing, and now is the absolute time. So I took the opportunity, but I absolutely believe that thing that happened was the catalyst to then make that jump.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it, how we make a decision even years prior to things happening, and then suddenly we think, hold on, where's my life gone? I remember deciding this 2 years ago, yet the whole process has taken 2 years. I guess it's like a transformation journey, isn't it? Because you have to transform into taking the step from the original decision. And does that kind of lead into the coaching? Does your coaching touch on that specifically? For me, it's a journey one-to-one with women, that really allow them to kind of talk openly about where they're at, and that could be different for every woman, and the barriers, the things that stop us, the things that hold us where we are, and actually feeling okay to release those and trust the process. I mean, that is one of my absolute favourite, feel the fear, do it anyway, trust the process, because I absolutely believe, if something's meant for you, the universe will give you that opportunity, and it will absolutely 100% support you. It's the action that you need to do in order to then get over that hurdle and get to the other side and go, okay, that wasn't as bad as what I'd probably made it to be in my own head. And I suppose with a coach, it makes the decisions easier, especially somebody that's actually been through it, because it's all very well coaching people and using theory, whereas if you haven't had the practicalities of it, it's never the same, is it? Because you can't lead with your heart, you can't lead with your emotions and your knowledge, I suppose, rather than just...
And it's that feeling, it's being able to share with somebody that absolute fear and that feeling, and knowing exactly where that person is, because you've been there. You know that fear, you know that feeling. And, for me, with having such a great job and security and home, relationships would come and go. But the one thing that I could rely on was the fact that I had, everything kind of there, because I was fulfilling my own life, house, car, great job, wages, could go out and do what I did. That was a huge thing for me to go, okay, here we go. Here's it all on the plate. Take it. That's shit crazy stuff. Sorry to swear there, but it is, because it's like you kind of giving up everything and that's helped you through so many different milestones in your life to jump off and
see what happens next. Just a question, was it fearful? When you said feel the
150%. I've now learned, and actually, I've done a lot of work with coaches as well as part of my transformation, my growth. And one of the things that my coach says to me is, do it scared, feel the fear, and do it. And now I'm like, oh my God, it's okay to feel scared. And I think as human beings, as soon as you feel scared, our instant reaction is to back off, is to, oh, that doesn't feel nice. I'm going to kind of back away from that, and I'm going to make myself feel better by something that's more familiar. But then the cogs start ticking, and the familiar then becomes, actually, this isn't really what you want, like, what are you doing? But to get near that thing, it's almost like getting near a hot plate. You're like, I know it's going to be hot, but I need to pick it up.
Great. And so is there method in what you teach? Is there a system? Have you developed that system? Or?
Yeah, I've kind of, to be honest, I've been, thinking about what this looks like. And like I said, for every different woman, it will be slightly different. But the bones of what I'm creating will be the same, because I believe there's certain processes you have to go through in order to be able to progress and move forward and develop the ideas and, you know, whatever that is that you're wanting. So, you know, I've got an idea of like time frame as how long that's going to take to work through together, but it's very much a journey of togetherness with me there, with my support, we've been able to share it, life experiences, but actually the other person on the other end kind of realizing all these things, because you do, that's a great thing about working for a coach, with a coach, isn't it? It just all unfolds, and before you know it, you've answered your own questions and you're like, okay, I did know this. But I think the thing that really inspired me to want to do this is I never had that leader and that coach and that person that I needed when I needed her. You know, at that time, you have your friends and you have your family, and there's such amazing support, and not everybody has that. I was very lucky to have that. But I think sometimes somebody out of the equation that's totally objective, that pushes you, that encourages you, that motivates you, gives you inspiration, is such a different thing, and something that maybe you would never get from the people that are in your life naturally. And I wish that I had that then, because probably would have been a bit of an easier process to get where I am now. But this is why I believe all these things have happened, so I can then impart that with other women to help them.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. And tell me about the retreats, because you organise retreats as well, don't you?
Yeah, we do. So we have a retreat business called Divine Goddess _retreats.
Oh, love the name.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it amazing? Do you know what? When we was brainstorming the name, it just kept coming back to Divine Goddess. Like, it was just, it was there. It was like, right, this is what it needs to be called. And I met an amazing friend. She was my yoga teacher at the time, and she had a vision, I had a vision, and kind of my experience and her experience, we were like, we want to create this place for women to come, to share memories, to take off all the hats that women have to wear, whether that's a wife, you know, a girlfriend, a sister, a, you know, daughter, whatever they are, you know, job roles, mum. Take them off, come and spend time with us, build memories, have fun, and just have that safe place to be able to kind of go, I'm me, this is me, who am I? Because you get so kind of entangled in everything. And I think for me, coming from like a corporate world and working with such amazing women, that I used to look at them, Liv, and think, how are you doing that? How are you know, turning up and you've got everything together, and you've probably been up, you know, 7 hours before you can get to where you're getting. You've got kids ready for school and all these things, but, you know, do you get time for yourself? And they would often go, well, no, this is life. And I was like, wow, it's so important to have time for you, because you can't give to everybody else unless you have that time. And I think as women, for me, it was almost like we put so much pressure on ourselves, and we almost feel as if we're not doing our job if we kind of maybe don't make the tea, or, you know, the washing doesn't get done, or, and I think I've learned from speaking to women, it's our own expectation. It's not the partner or kids or whatever, you know, they just want you to be happy, but it's the pressure as a woman you put on yourself to be able to do all these things and be all the things everybody in your life, and that becomes draining. So
yeah, it's that old multitasking, isn't it? You know, oh, we're really good at that, but we're absolutely knackered.
Yeah, exactly. We're burnt out. There's nothing more to give, but we'll keep going because that's what we do. We get it done. You know, let's go, 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 go. And actually, it was almost giving women permission to be able to say, no, that's your weekend for you. That's your afternoon workshop time for you. And it was allowing a really safe space for that to happen.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. And so, I mean, I know things have been a bit disrupted in 2020. So those listening to it in 2021 will be reflecting on how things were in that dreaded year of 2020. And where do you see the business going, or when things start to sort of perk up again? Is it?
Well, definitely, like you said, at the minute, again, I think this comes down to the way that I see things. It's almost like surrendering to what's happened at the minute because it's out of our control. It's exactly how it needs to be at this time. And although the conventional retreat that we want to do, which is that overnight stay, can't happen right now, It's about what does that look like for the future? You know, can that be a day workshop? Can that be, you know, something over like a Zoom call or whatever that needs to be? And it's another great saying that I love is, you know, what can we do as opposed to what you can't do? And it's all about that for us. So there's so many different options to look at. And I honestly believe when the time is right, we'll be able to do the retreat and create the vision that we had originally, but it will look different in between.
Fantastic. That's great. So that's well worth remembering. So no matter what stage a woman is at in her life, the retreat is really open for all ages, isn't it? There's no...
Absolutely. There's no criteria, no boundaries. You know, it's time for you. It's almost like a mini holiday for you. And whether you want to come on your own, whether you want to come with a friend, it's just about bringing women together. And I've had the beauty of, I think, over this, especially probably 2 years, this whole growth period's been for me. And that's not to say you don't grow outside of that, but this intense period that I've had, you know, I've met some fantastic, amazing women, but it's been out of my comfort zone on a retreat, meeting people that I've never, ever thought I would meet, you know, and they've just been amazing. And they've been people that I've come back to throughout that whole journey. And I think, well, there was a reason why I met them, you know, so it's a really special thing. So, yeah, I'm really excited to be able to start to share it in the way that we've got a vision for.
Superb. So if somebody was listening to this podcast and thought, oh, I just want to check them out, where would they check you out?
Yeah, so Instagram, I would say to head first. So it's @divinegoddess_retreats. And then for myself, it's @HPECO, which is PECKO. Facebook, it's Hayley Pexton, and Divine Goddess Retreats on Facebook as well. So you can go either or to check us out.
That's fantastic. So ladies, if you're open to contacting Hayley and finding a little bit more about her, go check out her website, go check out her Instagram. And Hayley, a huge thank you for spending the time with me today to explain about your exciting vision.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. I've loved it. I could talk forever. So thank you for keeping me on track.
It's my absolute pleasure. Thanks.
Thanks, Liv.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.